Okay, in this training video, I'm going to show how to apply payments from insurance, the EOBs basically. Okay, so let's get started here. As usual, logging in, right? So I log in here. Now to post, let's go to the home page here. Now to post payments, basically the encounter needs to be coded and actually billed, not only just coded. Because basically the claim has to be sent before you get the payments back, the EOBs, and which you can apply. Okay, so we're just going to do those two steps very quickly here. I have one test encounter here, so we'll just go ahead and code it. And you probably already have. In real life, or in real life situation, you'll probably have coded the claims, send them out, and all that stuff. And then after that, you get the EOBs after 2 weeks or so, right? 2 to 3 weeks. So you don't need to do these steps, but I'm just kind of showing you, or reminding you that the claim has to be coded and the encounter has to be coded and the claim generated in order to post payments. Okay, so let's look at now the payment posting. So let's say you get a check from the insurance company and you want to post the payments for. Okay, so you go up here, payments, deposits, apply. Okay, in here first you're going to create the check. Okay, so it's a check from payer, so we're going to click new payer deposit and we're going to create the check first. So, and you can enter up to 10 checks in one shot here and click add deposits. Let's say it's from Blue Cross. Okay, now you can enter if the check is for a particular patient, or if it is a bulk check where you get a bunch of payments for all kinds of different patients, different encounters in one check, then you don't need to enter this patient. Okay, you can just enter the check number if you want, and let's say I put an amount, say $1,000. Okay, click add, and that creates the deposit. It's going to take you back to the deposit screen here, and you see your check that we just entered. Okay, now if you wanted to search on a check that you entered previously, you can do on or before and find out all the checks. There are several search parameters here. If you can find for you to find a particular check. Let's say you wanted to find a check for a particular patient, you can put the patient name in there and click find, and then you'll get a check for that particular patient. Okay, you can say deposit from payer or patient. As you can see, you can just even post a check from a patient by clicking a new patient deposit here. Okay, so that's basically the deposit. So that's the first step. We did the deposit. Now we're going to select this and we're going to do the apply, the posting of this check line by line. Okay, all right, so this is the find charges apply screen. So what you're going to do is you see all the entries in your EOB. They have patients and their encounters, right? So first you do is find the patient. So I'm just going to say Burke, the one that we just did here. I'm going to find the patient here. I'm going to find when I say first find the patient, then when you click this find button, it's going to pull up all the charges for the patient that have been billed to date. Okay, and that are outstanding. So you can see the charges here. It's going to say balance, so that's why it's saying it's outstanding. If there is no balance, then it won't show up here. Also, it's pulling out all the charges that are assigned to the payer and not to the patient. Okay, so that's why the responsibility is Blue Cross here. Okay, so now let's apply the payment. So we had a $1,000 check, and as you can see here, we are tracking the unapplied amount. Okay, we haven't applied any amount yet, so the unapplied amount is $1,000. Okay, now as we start applying the payments from this check one by one, this is going to start going down. Okay, so let's say here we had a $25 payment and then an adjustment of $10. Okay, we applied this, and then so here basically these are the two charges for this encounter. Now for applying, you have to post payments one encounter at a time. Okay, so for the next charge on that encounter, let's say we do 5 and the adjustment is $5, for example. Okay, and then so this is the remaining balance. As you can see, it's updated the balance here, so that is the remaining balance. Okay, and here you can see we have bill to next, which is checked marked here. So if you leave this checked, which is most cases you're going to do that, the remaining balance is going to get moved over to the secondary payer if there was a secondary payer, or if there was not a secondary payer, it's going to get moved over to the patient responsible balance. Okay, so that's it. Basically from the EOB, we find the patient, find the encounter, post the payments, click apply here. Okay, as you can see now, the screen refreshes. Here is the unapplied, the left amount on the check. And now, if there were more entries in the EOB, you can just keep going ahead, applying one after the other. Maybe the next entry was also on the same patient for a previous date of service. So here you see that you can enter again 5, maybe adjustment is $5, there's a balance of 25, right? So we applied that, so we applied it for the second date of service for the same patient. Now let's say there is some other patient in the EOB, so you can go back here and find another patient, for example. Okay, and then pull up all the charges by clicking the find for this particular patient. Okay, and then apply payments for her encounters one by one. So let's say the payment was paid in full, there is 0 adjustment, click apply, right? So one date of service, we applied it. So at a time you have to apply to one date of service. There can be multiple charges and you can apply multiple payments, but it needs to be per encounter at a time. Okay, so that's the apply. You can just apply one after the other, patient by patient and charge by charge. Now I'm going to show you one other thing. After you have applied the insurance side of payments, you can actually go ahead and apply. See here, it's showing patient unapplied deposits. So these are the patient co-pays and stuff that is collected and in the patient's account. And you can click this, and it's the same process. You can then go ahead. See here, it pulls up all the co-pays and the other things that were collected on the patient's account, and you can select this and then apply this in the same manner. So it's going to pull up the same patient. You click all the charges, and see now here the difference is going to pull up all the charges that are assigned to the patient. See the responsibility here, it says it's the patient, whereas here if you see, let me minimize this. Here if you see, the responsibility was the payer. Okay, so the way you apply the payments are, first always post the EOBs, payments from the payers, and then any responsible balance is moved over to the patient responsible balance when we click bill to next. Okay, and then you can go here and find that patient's unapplied deposits and apply them to those. So for example, here is the total unapplied deposits that we selected, the copay that we selected, and you can just enter it here, let's say $25, right? Here it's going to 0. Okay, click apply, so that's done. Back to this page, you can go back to deposits, and these are the deposits for the patient, right? So we had another copay from here, we're going to apply that also. Let's find the charges again. See, we posted this just before that, right? That's the copay that we posted. This is the next copay, so let's post it here. Oh well, there's a $525 balance here, so we're going to post it here. Balance goes to 0, apply. Okay, now here is an applied amount. We're going to post that 14.75 here. See, the balance is changing, right? We click apply, so all that entire copay was applied. Let's go back to deposits and let's see if there is any additional copay. Oh, there is one more here, so we're going to go ahead and apply that as well. So that's how you would go ahead and apply the patient side of copays. The patient side of payments, which is the copays, like that. Okay. Oh, unapplied. Okay, here unapplied amount. What did I do? Oh, okay, the balance is 0 and I tried to post a payment here. Okay, so that's why it's giving an error here. Okay, all right, so that's how. Oh, actually, well, it was another error here. What I was trying to do was, see, the unapplied amount became negative here. So the available amount in the copay is, I think, only $20, and I was trying to post $25.25. Okay, so that's why we were getting an error there. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing to note there. Okay, so that's it. That's the payment posting. And initially I said I was going to cover only the insurance side of payment posting, the EOBs, but this is a nice addition that we did here in this video, which is I showed you how to apply the patient side of things after you have posted the insurance side of things. Okay, so that's it. That's the payment posting. And yes, probably in a separate training video I'll also go through auto apply function of the patient side posting, and we'll do that in a subsequent training video. Okay, because that function can be done right up front at the front desk. Now all these functions, keep in mind, that we just did are sort of done in the back office, when you get the EOBs, and then you're kind of entering those checks and then posting those payments. Okay, so this apply of payment again is insurance side payments, and after that the patient side of payments, but it is kind of done in the back office. Okay, so there is another function auto apply which can be done up front at the checkout stage, and I will go into that in a subsequent video. Okay, so that concludes this training video of payment posting.